6-6, and until ILLUMINAR took it 9-6, took the pistol, started going on a bit of a rampage, a little bit of a return from Fate in between, only to then find themselves at 15-9 at the mercy of ILLUMINAR. But the end result, much different than one would have imagined, given that it was 15-9 at one point. At 16-14, yes, in favor of ILLUMINAR. The close calls, though, the close proximity of that one round, it was all up in the air until the last moment. Fate, let's see if they can now change their fate for Train.
Yeah, let's see if they can change their fates. I'm very much looking forward to that. It would be about time to do so for them. As we finally head into it, ILLUMINAR on the CT side is where they previously got fairly successful as well. Remember the success they had yesterday? Looked a little gnarly as we talk about it. Woof, okay. That's an absolute flawless start.
I mean, does it get any bit better than this? Literally no, I think. Train yesterday kicked off definitely a bit wonkier for ILLUMINAR. They lost the first pistol. They were a little bit down. They did get traded out pretty quickly and ended the half 8-7, but still, this is as good as it gets right now, and it is going to be a forced return by Fate. No surprise there.
Yep, very much. So, as you hear the tapping of the M4, nothing crazy should happen here for ILLUMINAR. They should not take too any major risks, and therefore just wait this one out as good as possible. As Nikki trying to head out main anytime soon, he's most likely diving back together with his teammates. So he waits a little further, a little more, and hopes to find the best with his lads. As you see, they take a lot of time with it. Veggie doing himself a favor by not going too much into it. And the ILLUMINAR side still stands strong.
No surprise. Losing Reeds, but okay. You know, they can handle that. Keeping themselves well composed in that moment. And above all else, keeping the rifles in their banks or in their inventories. In any case, Fate... attempts are a little bit weak. Sure enough, a full eco coming out again. So this is 3-0 by all means, or at least by all regards. Should be 3-0. As Fate go for a B rush. Yes, it should be a B rush. But ILLUMINAR seemingly aware of that. A pop flash into upper brown holes, giving them a bit of extra information early on. Either way, we are kicking off this second map very successfully for ILLUMINAR. Something that...
All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You want to make a point over. You want to make a point.
Yeah,
What was that?
I mean, that's pretty much as good as it gets there. Again, it's like perfect stuff for Mouse. And kicking off Train as good as this, or at least as clearly as this, it kind of starts to paint a bit of a background, and the picture in itself starting to get a little bit of shape. That ILLUMINAR might have had enough of the Mirage shenanigans, you know, that they had to play as many rounds as they did and struggled as they did. Let's see if the first gun round will be any different. Maybe Fate have something to say yet about their current performance.
Maybe. It would be about time to die. But we've seen how much ILLUMINAR can actually drive away with success. If you remember correctly. Mirage got a little shaky towards the end as Fate changed their pace quite a bit. In case it will not be as successful as wish, they might do so. In the meantime, Reeds, not sure if he does himself a favor. He saw the leg and gets both. My God, that was nice. Snacks could have even given him a little bit of a support flash there, but they didn't care. Just pull it in, and they did.
Went straight for it. I mean, it works. It actually works. Veggie, better be careful what his next move will be. The smoke, as it passes, it will reveal a hidden block. And, well, that block is blocker. Easy as that. So... not over yet. Reeds able to at least make sure this current position that they're in is still in their favor, though not for long. Reeds, good night. Patrick and Blocker keeping the round alive. 23 seconds. Time now of the essence.
Time is. And, Patrick is fairly lucky in this, but 4 points of health won't make it easy for him. Falls down, and that is the round gone. 4-0. It is. 4-0 for the side of ILLUMINAR. They are not stopping here on CT.
Oh, they are not. One thing that kind of did take me aback is the aggression that they showed even after Fate. You know, they displayed that they're not going to be eyes though, as AA split seems to be readied up.
It's very good when you use your own. A good start for our eyes, but the Bulgarian eyes see some sinister time up ahead of them, and that might be changed through Patrick as he spots a heaven player. Same goes for Reeds. Both are falling down here. It's once more man equalized. Not as nice as they would have liked it to be. And that probably caused a bit of an issue right now. As though it's one more here. It's one more that the Polish side can deliver. A right flank at the right time might just make things a little more complicated, doesn't it?
Oh, Nikki. Yeah, his response a bit slow, and as you said, could be complicated though. Seems to be untwined pretty quickly and pretty easily. ILLUMINAR, sure, they lost two. And one of them being Reeds, obviously, to take away a little bit of their stability, though. Fate, they seem to have no way of entering onto site without losing at least 2 or 3 players beforehand, and even by the time they're able to get a few 5-0. This is a distinct advantage starting to be built, and perhaps even a quick map ahead of us if
that would be very surprising to me. And as we see at the moment, it looks pretty much like the sinister start that we might have seen yesterday. If you didn't join us yesterday, it was ILLUMINAR playing against Wizards, where it actually got fairly close towards the end, right? But still, funny wise, both teams share the story that they can never close out Train extremely convincingly, for whatever reason that might be. For whatever reason it might be.
Well, I mean, if they deliver this round, then I'll ask myself for sanity. I'll ask about my sanity here, because the Pistols certainly have no business of winning or even having a chance of winning. And the spray down is not going to conclude with too much success. 1 kill only, though the damage is quite severe. And Fate, if anything, we've seen in the past is that their pistol rounds are at times more effective. Certainly it rings true there for I think for alternate attacks the most. Their pistols are usually the strongest.
And they're taking their time right here.
For example, against Ivy. It wouldn't be unheard of.
They're getting there on the site, and Mount's gonna check his right-hand side because this could become a problem. Talking about it, it becomes a problem. It's not even
Big if true. That's want to go for the op. Harn is going to use the entirety of his bank. Yeah, look at this. Like almost $8,000 that he wasted away. Well, 740 or 50 or whatever he had. Point in hand is that their economy again having to crash down. A full investment is made, yes, but it is their last if they do not pick up the round itself with success and the bomb plant, or just the bomb plant to begin with. In any case, a bit of a default being one. Fate, we can see them approaching towards upper brown holes. Pop control, not sure they took it. Doesn't look like a player is down there. Could be horribly wrong though, as Patrick is tagged up. And they will double drop.
that has been hurt. Big oof.
To be expected as well, I guess, in a way. Or at least should be expected by ILLUMINAR, given that they didn't look for control. But yeah, it does give them a bit of extra info, right? That, yeah, sure, there's a player down there, so they at least can be keenly aware of that.
Setting up the execute right now. Smokes are landing back close to bomb train. Flashbangs are coming in as well. How much is that buying them? Well, not too much. They once more take control here. It's once more the side of ILLUMINAR, which might have the upper hand, especially as Reed is coming in quite handy anytime soon. They're changing pace immediately. Look at the positional change. It pays off.
Really does, doesn't it? And I mean, at this point, Harn and Nikki, they've got a enormous task ahead of them. Good Molotov timing there, though it might not be enough to buy that another moment of respite here for Harn to reposition, if at all possible. Though Nikki, as he rears off the angle of Electro, shut out by Innocent on top train, top 6. Or actually not even on top 6, that was Mouse, apologies. Still, it seemed to be enough, and ILLUMINAR just keep on taking. They seem to be not taking any footsteps, right? The more you take, the more you leave behind. In this case, they're leaving nothing behind besides dead bodies in their wake and 0 points for Fate. Performance on the second map. And one would even guess that this is yeah, given how they're performing, this is the map choice of Fate. Well, excuse me, ILLUMINAR. Well, psych, it's Fate's.
What a witty wordplay it was.
Oh, come on, I messed that up.
It's okay.
I really messed
you
it
tried.
up.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah, try it a few times to maybe get it once. That's always a good thing.
So, at that point in time, we saw the previous round once more showed when everything is in hand of the team of Blocker. It turns out that they play a very slow style, understandably, to a certain execute, which then can be very well countered by ILLUMINAR. Not even because they take control and can rule out positions that much, but because they seemingly have the right tools and have the right kind of understanding. Where's the edge of that? Like, where's the room where we can actually penetrate from? And at that point in time, it looks like they keep on doing so. The money is alright on Fate. They'll definitely buy into that, but how much fun is it?
Given how they've been losing, given how they've been literally tapped down, yeah, fun is no longer even a part of this equation. It's more about how excruciatingly painful it is and how less painful they can make it for themselves. Right now, this full buy, it's pretty damn important. I mean, this is, you know, we talk about the early beginnings like this. We discuss a lot about how it affects the team, and the result we're seeing right now usually is the border between that potential 16-0 and that potential complete turnaround of the map itself, because this is where you usually see teams wake up and start taking charge in their own hands. But right now, it's the exact opposite. Fate still seem to be just lost in space overall. And they better have a game plan brewing and ready and set to go. Otherwise, ILLUMINAR will just continue on with what they've been doing so far. Although 3 players on B, that's something unusual. Very peculiar.
And as you see right there, Fate is trying to take a lot of control for the split over on the A site. As PopDoc belongs to them, look, the passive approach. They have no idea where Veggie could stand. Nicky checks for a millisecond, but he could hit the timing on that. Except logically, the odds of Holland become a problem. But no, it's not even that becoming the problem. It is actually Nicky himself. So that now makes it all a lot more realistic for Fate to finally find their first. For how long can they
keep on going? Well, the answer is, at least for this long, first one on the board, Fate. When you look at the economy of ILLUMINAR, they won 7 rounds in a row. You wouldn't say they won 7 rounds in a row, though. I mean,
No,
they barely
no.
have enough to drop the next round even. And no, they don't even have enough to drop the next round to all 5, if they include an AWP in their buy.
I think this is what we mentioned yesterday as well, if I remember correctly. When we talked about their when I was actually asking you what kills and how much, what's the score would be, right? If you remember.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's that. That's fairly interesting to see that it's not as good as they might expect.
Yeah, it's pretty even across the board. Which is 0-10-0. They died for the first time last round. Plus Mars 0-7, which
You hated to see it, right? You just don't like to see that.
That's something you really hate to see.
Absolutely. And it's about time to see what this round is going to bring us. Fate is in a situation where more and more you realize that they have a certain bit of pressure. They realized what worked the last time. That was the split on the site. They do it a little faster now and immediately get blocked from that. But this is CT's giving away their utility. Not for free, of course. They're buying themselves time. And at that point, it also looks like they're trying to get a little more room. As Veggie takes PopDoc for now. 2 flankers of Fate could make the life a little bit more tough in case they make the call to go to B, because then they're fast on it.
Yeah, absolutely. They could try. Here comes the execution, the attempt, the drop down, secures the first, the second as well. Innocent replies, but it's not enough. Nicky, that'll be the end of the A defense as well, as Reitz comes in through and gets shut out. Snacks, no hope. Mouse shouldn't even have any business looking around this bomb site any further. And indeed, it is true. Fate could have turned around back towards B. It would have taken them a few seconds longer, but they had the moment, they had the chance. The decision to keep on going seems to be the right one. The second round is theirs, and what a way to build up a little bit of a repertoire, as well as the fact that, you know, they are able to shut down the entirety of the economy of the CTs in a single swoop, in a single, well, 2 rounds if we're more precise.
Yeah, correct.
Although,
Go ahead.
if Mouse saves, there's a full buy coming behind this still for ILLUMINAR. That's it.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It is still question: how long will ILLUMINAR be interrupted? That's the thing. How long will ILLUMINAR not find a way back into this? It would be a bit surprising if they don't find a game into this long run. Very genuinely speaking, it's a bit more I would expect expect, especially as the goal has been a little repetitive by now, to say it that way. But for the 2 rounds only, right? This is then still a different thing. It's not we're talking about they're doing this for hours.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course.
So I like what I see for the moment from both parties, especially as Fate is fighting back finally and seemingly get a way to just pry the door open.
Yeah, right now they have 1 foot in the door. It's between the door and the closing itself, but ways to go. Snacks doesn't even have time to react. As Arn is faster than lightning here. The B push already successful. There's nobody else for the defense. Patrick locks out Veggie towards Electro and Illuminar. Oh well, oh well. Seems like all gone down. It's all
Fairly
gone.
fast. Yeah, fairly,
Yeah.
fairly fast. And you see right here. Ah, Mar with what a shot. Fate will most likely get there third, and I think there's no way around saying it. They will get there third. They're doing everything right at the moment. It.
The one thing that catches me by surprise from Illuminar, it's like different players behind their seats, behind their PCs, and it's just a bit of a surprise, really. I do not expect them to then start making such basic errors at times. And Snacks, it wasn't a basic error, but definitely for the rest, you know, not checking Ivy, not being too careful of those pushes over the edge. It kind of comes as a surprise. But I guess then too big of a surprise. Yeah.
Obviously not delivering, as though they're doing a bit more frags than they did beforehand. Mouse shouldn't stand for too long, but you never know. Waits in the corner, dives out to smoke. It is immediately eliminated by Mar. That's more than all right. That is right. That is more than all right what they're delivering.
Absolutely.
They're at it.
Well, they're going to be swinging their swords a little bit here and see how far they can reach, one and the other. Mar as well out of the 0-7 territory, so no more James Bonds on the board, which one would argue is a bad thing. On the other side, unfortunately in CS, it is a good thing that there are no James Bonds. In any case, it is going to be the attempt again. This time, Rifles defending the line. Nobody checking Ivy. Reeds blinded and oblivious. And that shall be more than enough. Mar finding himself one more. Patrick delivered from Oblivion, though, as Innocent buying a second of time, though. He's predicted to go to heaven.
And that's Veggie starting in. Oh, the spray control coming from that lad is causing big problems on the Fate party. As to try to crash what has happened here all over the side on A. Next starts off. That bomb is down. Nikki directly on the way back to it. But 3 points of health should not get you in any golden spot, at least for now. The big problem could though be Snacks is rotating, taking a lot of control towards B site, which is due to the fact that Mouse has not spotted the bomb. He's fairly close to having an angle on it, but it seems like he stays back in Ivy until he has more information. Or alternatively, Snacks wraps around over Pop Doc.
Well, the rule of thumb is always stay together in a 1-on-2 position or a 2-on-1 spot. But this Molotov and the plant will reveal the accurate position of Nikki. Yeah. It's actually a shame that Mouse doesn't longer.
That was stellar. That was amazing.
This was a round-saving moment. The round-saving moment. That can be highlighted as one of the reasons why Illuminar even get their 8th round, because without Veggie, they would not have a chance at all. That site was lost, and there was nothing they could have done about it.
this final piece of the first half. Jesus, when you see such things.
They need to calm down there. That was a bit much. That truly
Jesus.
caught them a little bit by surprise. Luckily, the save of the one and only comes through. You know, not so innocent, but you can hear their frustration just by the fact they're switching their weapons as much. This is such a clear sign of like, I am so pissed. I am going to destroy everybody in my wake, be it my teammates or my opponents. And with good cause, Harn is quite mad about that. I mean, who wouldn't be? He just got literally, yeah, punked. 9-4.
Go ahead.
How to say this? I'm a little bit shell-shocked, really, that ILLUMINAR, they had such a great start, and then they lose those 4 rounds, and now seemingly, you know, they're back on the saddle once more, as if no.
Right, that's a very good point. No, that's a legit good point you have. I mean, they're an experienced group of players. Veggie and Snacks have previously in Virtus Pro, Reeds, Mouse, is Innocent for a long time in Kingwin, and you know, this is a type of team which has individuals that stand out casually, especially Train. I mean, they win against Hard Legion, funny-wise, in the Malta Vibes. They win against
Instead, 11-4, another dominating show of hand, and